a pollen burst, and it rules.
Well, thank you so much for supporting us by getting that at InfoWarsHealth.com, and thank you so much for calling into the broadcast. What's on your mind?
Okay, real quick, because I'm off topic. Alex, I pray to you, please, go to HomelandSecurityUS.com. It's Doug Hagman's site, okay? Fourth thing down on the main page, right in the center column, there's an article entitled Christianity and Gun Owners in the Crosshairs, Chilling Tactic Exposed, okay? It's an article about what happened to me. I started a radio show myself recently, and I did a broadcast on August 7th, okay? One of my buddies heard the broadcast, and I talked about how I didn't like Obama, that I think that the hammer's probably coming down pretty soon, and I picked up some firearms recently. Alex, the next day, August 8th, I was sitting in my home, and I got a call from a cop. And he said to me, Jason, I'd like you to come out on your porch for a second to talk to you. So this is what he says to me, Alex. He says, all right, so here's the thing. You have to come with us. I said, sir, what is this about? He said, my friend from New York called and said that he was concerned about me and was worried about me. So this is what happened. He 302'd me. He called the CMC, and under Law 302 in the code, which is a mental defect.
No. That's what they do now, is they take any comment about the hammer's coming down, I'm going to get some firearms, and they spin that you're going to kill yourself. This is this new mental illness thing. They had a Marine who said some similar things, and they came and put him in a mental institution. So what happened to you?
Okay, so this is what happened, Alex. I was in CMC Hospital in Scranton for 20 hours. They marched in, the social worker, the psychologist. The first thing that the psychologist asked me, are you ready for this? Do you intend to hurt the president? Number one. I said, absolutely not, sir. I'm a Christian. Okay, number two, do you intend on making bombs and blowing people up? I said, absolutely not, sir. I'm a Christian. He said, very good, because he was an Indian. Very good, you look like religious men. I said, thank you, sir. So I was in there 20 hours, and Alex, they weren't going to let me go unless I, number one, agreed to get rid of my firearms. Number two, I agreed to go to counseling. And number three, that I immediately call somebody to prove that I have a support system.
Yeah, what they do is they extrajudicially, off of your free speech, induct you in there, you act friendly, then they get you to waive all your rights and agree that you have mental problems to then go pay to have quack drug-pushing psychiatrists claim that you have mental illnesses, all because you said the hammer's coming down. You're saying on a radio show you said this?
Yes. Well,
sir, this is a First Amendment issue. Secret police, this is Soviet style, have grabbed you. I've been meaning to get Hagman on anyways about a bunch of other issues, but it's the fourth story down, you're saying?
Yes.
Christians and gun owners in the crosshairs, chilling tactic exposed. I want to, guys, print that for me. I want to post that at InfoWars.com right now so everybody can find it easily. And I was already, like yesterday, going to tell Dew to get Hagman on. So let's get Hagman on today, the Nightly News. I'm also going to interview Jakari Jackson, our new incredible reporter, who's now moved here officially. And so has Dan Badani, doing an amazing job helping produce the radio show and run stuff there, and as a reporter. I'm going to interview Dan Badani tomorrow. I tell you what, sir, we're going to look at your story. Give us your name and number right now off air, and we need to talk about this. Wow, you know what? I said I'd get to all these other callers. You know what? Stay there. I want to hear the rest of the story. And then we'll go to everybody else. But a radio talk show host arrested for saying, wow. All over the world, school children are hand scanning and face scanning to buy and sell, to be able to get cafeteria food or to check out books. And when parents say they think it's the mark of the beast and don't like it, they're called conspiracy theorists. See, if you don't like TSA grabbing your genitals, they call you a conspiracy theorist. It's like if you say you don't like strawberry milkshakes, you like chocolate ones. Having an opinion is now a conspiracy theory. Like, hey, I don't think we should have checkpoints on the highways. Whatever, conspiracy theorist. Meanwhile, world government is being thrown openly in our face. Now, by the way, I've scanned over this article now, and we're going to get Mr. Hagman on. I'm posting this article at Infowars.com. and linking over to it. It's also in Canadian Free Press. Christianity and gun owners in the crosshairs. Chilling tactic exposed. That's a great headline, but I'm changing it to thought police kidnap talk show host. Because if cops are banging on my door, I'd say, what's the emergency? And they said, we need you to come out here and talk to us. I would, then say to them, well, what's it about? And they said, well, it's about your comments on your talk show about, guns and the hammers coming down. Well, yeah, I clearly was saying this country's collapsing, and we all need to get guns to protect ourselves. That's in national surveys, #1 reason to buy guns. Let me call in the local talk radio right now, and I'll also call 911. And yeah, they might try to have a big standoff and a big event. At least the police will be there. There'll be news. You can come out and say, hey, charge me with a crime. Instead, they take you to an extrajudicial situation, and then now they're trying to induct you into agreeing to go to their classes and sign agreements saying you're mentally ill and give up your guns. When, yes, I think everyone should buy guns because all over the country, I mean, I saw a story 2 years ago where Oakland, California, their crime rate has exploded since then, said we're not going to respond to 30 crimes, including robbery, you name it. All over the country, I see them lay off 20, 30, 40, 50, 60% of the cops. Some areas are getting rid of all of them. And yeah, we need guns to protect ourselves for a deteriorating society. And the hammer, it looks like, could be brought down against the American people. My gosh, we've got Army manuals that are public where they say they're going to arrest us for our speech. And they're trying everywhere. I mean, I've talked to so much family and friends where people at a cookout will say, I hate Obama. They ought to throw him out of this country. Boom, Secret Service next day, in their face. We want your guns. You know what? Secret Service comes around here. I'm like, look, you're the guys that helped kill Kennedy. Just get out of my office. And I do. I tell them that. I'm not going to look. The ADL's out here saying, that I'm and others that I'm going to promote violence or cause violence, not offensive violence, but I will defend myself. They want to start a civil war. They can't win politically. Our ideas are winning. They're panicking. Sir, do you agree that you were basically coerced with a guy, with a gun, basically kidnapped into going down there with them?
Yeah, Alex, I mean, that's pretty much the best way to put it. I mean, the way I saw it was this, Alex. And
have you told folks your name? You want to tell people your name and your talk show and what happened?
Well, I appreciate that opportunity, yeah. And I was going to mention the website. Just go. The website is revelationnews.net. That's my website.
Oh, I've seen your site. Yeah, you've got a popular talk show. So now they could come here. I've said, hey, they're getting ready to drop the hammer on us. We need guns to protect ourselves. I mean, are they going to come here? Are they going to? This is a group that ships guns to Mexico to blame the Second Amendment. I'm so sick of it. Wow. Again, tell people your name.
My name's Jason Egroff, but I just want everybody to listen to the August 7th broadcast, okay? It's the last one on the Blog Talk Radio widget at the bottom. You tell me, Alex, if I said anything that warranted this, all right, brother? Well,
listen, you need to sue them for violating your civil rights, trying to coerce you out of your Second Amendment, especially if you don't have a criminal record, okay? This is the psych police. This is the thought police. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now into the next hour of global transmission. Unbelievable news up at Infowars.com. We'll be mentioning some of it in the next segment. Let's continue with your calls. Very chilling call we just had a moment ago. A talk show host that said, they're getting ready to drop the hammer on this country. I need to buy some more guns. And they came and didn't arrest him. Come outside. Get in the car. You're going to commit suicide. No, I'm not. I didn't say anything about that. Well, we'll let you out of the mental institution, but you got to give us your guns. Which, again, if he'd have just sat there, a court hearing would have come up. He'd have gone before the judge and said, this is crazy. I have no psychiatric history, no criminal record. I have a radio show. I was making a point about society crumbling. Here's a national survey where people say they're buying guns because they're worried about collapse. That's what I was talking about, Your Honor. Here's my wife and children, and I'm going to file a complaint on these people after this is done. You'd have been out. But they use your ignorance of the system to Shanghai your butt. The TSA's running around outside the law now doing whatever they want on the highways. The psychologists are. all these two-bit nobodies that couldn't get a job cleaning toilets are now going to be psychiatrists and psychologists, the new priest class trying to drug the daylights out of us while their wind-up toy mind control shooters go absolutely ape. By the way, later, remind me, guys, to review the new Bourne movie. I went and saw it last night with the crew. Unbelievably good. Unbelievably accurate. I mean, they are really telling you. I mean, that's right down to the actual drugs they really use. I mean, I am just blown away right now. They use viruses to reprogram the brain. How many years? About a decade I've been telling you about that. But Dondi, how long have I talked about the viruses? 10 years, yeah. But well, because that's in the medical literature. That movie's real. That's all I can say. There's my review right there. Let's go ahead and talk to Mary in Wisconsin. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Hello, Alex. I have some information that I think should be passed on, okay? About 5 years ago, as a matter of fact, it's 2 months short of 5 years ago, I filed a provisional patent for removing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. It was a very, very simple chemical that I used. As a matter of fact, you can buy it at the drugstore. And because there was controversy about this, I said, this is interesting. So I took this chemical, I took it outside, and I mixed it with some water. I took it outside, and I sprayed it into the atmosphere, and I was shocked at what I experienced. Subsequent to that, I filed the provisional patent, and it was used. It was a very simple chemical that grabs carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. And this is information I want to pass on to people. I hesitate to say what the chemical is on the air, but I certainly would be willing to pass the copy of the provisional patent on to you with the proof of what I am saying is correct.
Yeah, well, mail it. I mean, mail me a letter, attention Alex Jones, or send us an email, show tips, and I'd like to look into that. There's all sorts of weather modification patents and provisional patent pending type things, and most inventions do get made in the garage. So I'd like to see your information on that, Mary.
I just don't know where to send it. That's the problem.
You can send it to P.O. Box 19549, P.O. Box 19549, Austin, Texas 78760. P.O. Box 19549, Austin, Texas 78760. And thank you so much for listening, and I look forward to seeing that. All right, we got a guest coming up. What will Obama do if reelected? And I like the book because it'll tell us what Mitt Romney will do if elected. We'll be right back. I'm Alex Jones. This is the GCN Radio Network. GCNlive.com is their website. A lot of key news there as well. Stay with us. We'll be back. We are going to our guest here in just a moment. The voice you're hearing is my voice. I'm Alex Jones, your host here Monday through Friday from 12 noon to 3 p.m. Eastern. We'll be talking with the author of Fool Me Twice, Obama's Shocking Plans for the Next 4 Years Exposed, here in just a moment. First off, some of the headlines up at Prisonplanet.com and Infowars.com just out. Print 2.0, the answer to the internet kill switch. And it goes on, Fed, court rules banksters can steal pensions. Cops interrogate family for allowing kids to play outside. Pre-crime cameras for RNC in Tampa. Jacob Rothschild, Paul Paulson, John Paulson, George Soros are all beating the financial disaster is coming. They're all betting on it. Jacob Rothschild, John Paulson, and George Soros are all betting that financial disaster is coming. Continuing, former Marine indefinitely detained in psychiatric ward over 9/11 Facebook post. That is all up at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com right now. But now I want to bring up Aaron Klein to go over his excellent book that I finished reading last week, Fool Me Twice. We also sell it at the Infowars online video bookstore at InfoWarsShop.com or InfoWarsStore.com will also get you there. And this goes over with his co-authors from their statements, from their think